I want you to check this piece out by Joyanne Reel. She appropriately nailed the mainstream media. Sometimes you have to wonder what these guys are thinking about when they're covering stories, when they're doing this versus that type of stories. I love what Joyanne Reid did. Check it out now, and then we'll take it on the other side.
If you pick up any newspaper or peruse any news website, you'll see a lot of talk about President Biden's age. Yesterday, Axios posted this nifty headline about Biden wearing sneakers and exercising because he's old. The article doesn't say much beyond that, and they don't actually talk about the former president's age, despite Trump being just 3 years younger than Trump. For an industry that loves to both sides us and will easily both sides us into autocracy, it really doesn't seem to both sides this particular one. If they did, there would be robust conversation about Trump's age, or more importantly, his mental acuity. Recently, he told supporters that it was Jeb Bush, you know, Jeb, the former Florida governor, who led us into the Iraq War.
When I came here, everyone thought Bush was going to win. They thought Bush because Bush supposedly was a military person. Great. You know what? He was a military. He got us into the Middle East. How did that work out, right? But they all thought that Bush might win, Jeb.
Yeah, Jeb's the other one. I'm still waiting for a long dissertation from a myriad of fair and balanced news organizations about that gap, or any of the other times that Trump was confused or incoherent.
Belgium is a beautiful city.
Thank you, everybody. Mr. President, you need to sign it.
I said, we've just launched 59 missiles heading to Iraq.
Well, you headed to Syria?
Yes, heading toward Syria. And I want you to know that. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do. And at Fort McHenry, under the rocket's red glare, it had nothing but victory. And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside? You know, you have voter ID to buy a loaf of bread. You have ID to buy a loaf of bread. And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won. We would be in World War II very quickly if we're going to be relying on this man.
The fact remains that President Biden and Donald Trump are both older. But isn't the more important question who has actually delivered for the American public and who's willing to preserve our democracy? Because only Trump has led an insurrection, been indicted on 91 felony counts, and been found civilly liable for sexual assault, also guilty of property valuation fraud in a civil case literally yesterday. And only Trump has called for the execution of military officials, slung an anti-Semitic attack on American Jews on an important Jewish holiday, vowed to silence the media, promised to imprison his political opponents, threatened war against Mexico, and ended abortion access in nearly half of the U.S. But please, media, tell me more about Biden's sneakers.
You take a look at somebody like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is obese. Donald Trump has showed wear and tear coming downstairs. Donald Trump has showed with his character, with the way he thinks, that, in fact, he is older than his 77, whereas we can all say that Brother Biden is young for his 80 years, given the biking and cycling that he can do. So, yes, these two guys are fairly old. Not only are they fairly old, when you're dealing with older folks, anything can happen. Would you like to have a vice president if someone had to take over the person that Trump would choose, or somebody else that Biden would choose? I mean, the fact of the matter is simple. There's a good likelihood, because these guys get good medical care, that they will do just fine. But that said, if we're comparing Donald Trump to Joe Biden, there's absolutely no comparison with regards to mental acuity, with regards to physical stamina, and regards to health, given a fit person who can ride a bike as opposed to an obese person who likely hadn't ever gone on a bike.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.